Hi everyone, thank you so much for clicking on this video. My name is Krystal and welcome to my channel. To those who have recently subscribed to this channel as well as liked some of my recent videos, I really appreciate it, and I really appreciate your support. I see you. And if you're new to this channel and if you're just now seeing this video, please like, share, and subscribe, and I really appreciate it. Okay, so here are the 5 tips that I wanted to share with you. And so kind of just going into that. And these are tips specifically to help you overcome doubt and fear about moving into the next phase of your life. I think that, it can be really scary, you know what I mean? And even if you're not clear on what God is saying, or you're doubting, or maybe he has made it clear, but you're doubting it, here's some steps that can help you. So jumping into it, the first step of faith that I think that you should do is seek God through prayer and reading his word. That's the very first thing, is getting clarity. Okay, is this something that I need to be doing? Are you leading me into this thing? I believe that we're in seasons now where, it's important to not just lean to our own understanding, but in all our ways, acknowledge the Lord and he will direct your path. And so, seek God, pray to him and say, write it down, whatever you're feeling God is telling you, write it down in your journal and just pray over that. Like, God, I feel like you're pressing this thing on my heart. Can you please make it plain and clear that this is you leading me and not myself leading myself, So that's what I would encourage you to do. Seek the Lord and ask him, what is it that he wants you to do? All right. Step 2. Once you have prayed and you sought the Lord and you've gotten clarity, you feel like this is the thing that the Lord is calling me to do, ask God to lead you to wise counsel. Who are some people that you can trust this with? Who are some people that you can talk to and gain their wisdom on, and not just their wisdom, but their wisdom from God, right? On what you should be doing. What is this new endeavor the best thing to do? And these need to be people, again, that you can trust. And if you don't have anyone that you can trust, again, ask God to lead you to those people that can give you that guidance. Those people can lead you and give you advice. They might even be able to point you in the right direction. Say, well, you know what? I heard about this. How about go check out this school, or go check out this program, or this online, degree, or this job, this career, just ask God to bring you wise counsel to help you in that decision-making process. The third thing I recommend is do your research. Do your research. If you're looking to go back to school, it's good to kind of do some research on different schools within your community, within your city and state. Or, again, if you are an adult and you're trying to go back to school, probably more than likely, the colleges within your city and state might, those are the ones that you have access to. Look into their programs and see, what do they have? Do they offer, a specific, adult program where you can go to classes at night? Or if there's an online program that you can do, that can suffice, and sometimes it doesn't necessarily have to be a college or university. I have found that there are a lot of art classes online that you can take. I do particularly love, classes one-on-one, but if you can do classes online too, and if you don't have local art classes in your area, then an online class will suffice, because we want to learn and we want to grow as artists. So that would be my advice for that. And one thing I want to encourage you to, when you're doing your research and you might feel doubt and fear starting to come back up, remember that God is fully involved in what he's calling you to do. Because at this point, when you're doing your research, you're probably might be feeling a little bit better about what God is calling you to do, because you've taken the first step, or the not just the first step, but you've taken a step to kind of go and do some research and see, okay, what is this that God is calling me to? What is this about? You know what I mean? You might become fearful, you might be afraid, but again, know that God is fully involved in what he's calling you to do. So he's not calling you to go somewhere where he's not going to lead you, or where he's not going to be present. God is going to be fully there. Okay, so hopefully that helps. The next step I encourage you to do is make a plan. Step 4, after you do your research, make a plan. Okay, all right, so that plan could be, steps 1 through 5. Very, very simple steps. You know what I mean? To kind of give yourself an idea on what you need to do based upon the research that you found. The last and final step I'm going to encourage you to do is take a step of faith. Do not get stuck in the planning phase. Take a step of faith, even if it's the smallest thing. It could be, updating your resume, or have someone look at your resume for you and review it so that you can apply to that job. Or, let's say it's a school, see if they do tours. See if they will let you come tour the school, maybe get in contact with the student of admissions or recruitment to see, if they do tours, or they can, share with you more information about the program that you're interested in. Little things like that matter because it gets the ball rolling. And that was the first thing I did. I decided, you know what, after I did all my research, I'm just going to go and I'm going to go tour the school. There is no financial investment in going to go tour a school or submitting your application or, updating your resume or what have you. That's not a big investment. That's putting one foot in front of the other and just getting that ball rolling. And so that way, that helps to quiet the voices of fear and doubt by putting action behind your plan. So, but yeah, that is my 5 steps to helping you overcome fear and doubt. And those are just practical steps that you can do. But yeah, if you would like to learn more about this, or you want to have more conversation around this topic of going to school or changing your careers, just let me know. Put some comments down in the comment section. I would love to hear your feedback. Please like this video, share it with someone who might find encouraging. And thank you so much. And you have a great day. Bye.